We're practicing trail scenarios. So we're going to flat walk and then we're going to do a one rein stop when I yell out to her. Because you want to get your trail skills up. You can't get that without practice. So you're practicing different scenarios that might happen so you get used to being ready for it. So a little faster walk. Yep. And then lower your hands because on trail you'll probably be spaced out chit-chatting with your friends. Yes. A little bit faster. That's better. So now just try to keep that. And then again, when I yell out, just take a quick look of your surroundings and then do your one rein stop. Okay. Spook. Yep, but don't look at her head.
Okay.
Because you still want to help your balance in case she was spinning.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it was good. So when you're ready, just go back and try it again. So a little faster walk. Oh, too much. There you go. Good. Spook. Good. Very good. Yep. And then just let her sit there and take a break. Okay. As you're riding down the trail, your horse starts bucking. Okay. So you can get their head up. Sometimes that'll get them out of a buck. But if they continue to buck and we're trying not to fall off, you try to make a circle and slowly make it smaller until you can kind of turn their head around. If when you turn their head around, like a one rein stop, you push on their hind quarter, kind of like the turn on the forehand, it will help them to stop bucking because some horses can buck at a standstill.
Okay.
And then what you do is you just keep pushing their hind quarter around until you feel like they're not going to buck. If they still keep feeling like they're going to buck, once you start getting dizzy, I just switch and go the other way. Okay. Yep. So when they're going fast, they call it bending to a stop because you just make the circle smaller and smaller. But once we get controller, we're like, they're not doing anything, then I just turn them and push their hind quarter until I feel safe. So that's what we're going to try.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to go back to flat walking. And then what I'll say, is I'll say spook, but this time I'll say buck, sorry.
Okay.
I'll say buck, and this time when you do it, you're just going to make a small circle and trying to get control of her and then kind of pushing her hind quarter around to make her pivot. Does that make sense? Yeah. Anything close is fine because in the moment we just do the best we can. So the more we practice it, the easier it becomes. So you're going to make her go a little faster because it always happens when we're moving. So that's good. Yeah. And the same thing, you're always looking. So you can't bend them to a stop and make a big circle if you're on a single track. You just got to ride it out until the space opens up. So that's why, again, I'm always looking like, oh, we got lots of space here, there's a gully over there, but I got space on the inside, so if something bad happened, I'm going to turn to the inside. Okay. Buck. Yep. Look up though. Yep. Keep turning that hind quarter. So she's got to pivot a little bit more. Yep. Because she slowed down pretty quick. She's like, I already got this deal. So we're going to try it again.
Okay.
You did well. You did bend her, and then she just slowed down. Yeah. But as you bend her, if she slows down, then just make her pivot. Just make her swing that hind quarter around so you get the practice. Okay, so try it again. That's a good walk. Yep, nice flat walk. Oops. Good. Stretch up a little taller. Buck. Yep, spin that hind quarter a little bit more. Can she more? Yep, you might have to really hit her with that leg. There you go. Okay, now stop and give her a break. So what we're trying to do is if they rear up, you're trying to go forward. And you're trying not to pull on the reins, because if you pull on the reins, we can flip them over backwards, and I've seen people do it. So if I got one who's being light in the front end, I might stay a little tilted forward the whole time, so I'm ready for it. When they rear up, we're just trying not to pull on them and get our weight forward as we can. So I either grab their mane, I grab their neck. I don't grab the horn because it doesn't give you as much leverage. Okay. And then and if you can't grab anything, you don't. You just lean forward and try to put like your chest on their neck. When they come down, that's when you disengage their hindquarters, because if you got them spinning around, they can't rear back up again. So it gives you a chance to like jump off or think about what to do next.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So if they just come down and you don't do anything and they're upset, they'll just go back up again. Yep. So if you have a horse that's rearing up all the time and you do that, in time they figure out every time I go to rear, they spin me, I'm not going to do it anymore. But we know she's not like that. But it's still good practice, because you never know if something happens that they're going to rear up, and we're just trying to stay on. Okay, so while you're just standing here and she's rested, she might shake her head, but just lean forward and kind of wrap your arms around her neck. Yeah, like really wrap both arms. Yep, like that. So if you had to, she has a thick neck, so you might be able not to lock your hands around it, but you would lean.
With the horn, I'm never going to make
Yes. Now you can try it again, and you can try to lean on the side of the horn, but you do what you can. Yep, I guess not.
Well, if I'm to the side of the horn, I can...
Yeah, so whichever way makes you, and again, it's always in the moment, so you just do the best you can.
Okay.
If I'm losing my balance or something and they're rearing up, I reach up and I grab their mane as high as I can to pull myself forward, because it's better to pull yourself, even if she does that, it's better to pull yourself than flip the horse over. Yep. And then once you come back down, that's when we would spin them. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go out, and we can do it slow. Okay. And then I'm going to yell rear. You can stop her, so it's more, because she'll be stopped when she rears up unless she's truly talented. Then you're going to lean forward with your reins, grab around her neck, and then I'm going to say disengage her, and that's when she would be coming back down on the ground.
So I'm just in an effort to grab her, I'm still holding onto the reins.
Yeah, you're not going to let go of your reins. Yes.
All right.
Unless you thought you were flipping a horse over or something. Okay. Yes. But I've seen it happen because people are sitting back too far, their horse is acting up and they're not ready. And then, especially with bigger people, it's harder for them to get their weight forward. So I'm like, if they're being goofy, just ride in a little half seat the whole time so you're ready. All right, so you're just walking around. Okay, so we're gonna say she rears now. So to stop her, wrap your arms around her neck. Yep. Okay, now she comes back down, so now disengage her hindquarters. But look up, yep, and then spin that hindquarter around. Good. Okay. Then you could always jump off there. So if I needed to jump off, I usually keep their head sideways or tucked in, and then I jump off. Yes, yes. And people go, well, what if I get hurt jumping off? And I go, well, it's better to get hurt. You're not that far from the ground versus you're way up in the air and they flip over on you. Okay, so now walk off, and we're just going to try it one more time. So again, it's just like with any sport. People think of scenarios, what would happen, or they're doing a jumping course, what would I do if it cut the corner? And you just play it out in your head, so it just becomes so ingrained that when it happens, you just respond with pretty much the right stuff to do. Okay, rear. Good. And then disengage her. Now she's back on the ground. Yep. And look up. Good. And then hold her head sideways. Say you were going to jump off. You'd hold it like that, and then you could jump off. Okay. Yep. Okay, now you can release. And like if she was going over a log, so she's got to look up and stay still. Yep. And then if the horse looked down, I lower my hands and let them look, because they see better if they put their head down. I just open the hand wide, because that way they can still get over it. Yep, so you get in your half seat, and then wide hand if you need it, and heels down. So your heels are going to be like your shock absorber. If something goes wrong, it'll help your balance. Okay. Yep. So try it again, then I'm going to make it higher. So horn, I get up in my half seat. I just keep my shoulders back to try to keep my belly off the horn. Good job. So keep your heel down. You're starting to fall on your toe just a little. So again, you can steer, and then just look at the fence and stay in your half seat. Yep. Good. But keep your hands low. Good. So now you just look ahead like there was another rider in front of you, and the hands just a little lower. So you'll get up in your half seat, look ahead, keep steering, keep the hands low. Good. Yep, so just try it again. Because they need to use that head and neck to get over the object. That's why you see jumping people releasing. That's okay. It's just because you moved right in front of it, so she responded. Okay. So try it again. And as you're going around, even practice getting up in your half seat. You're doing good, except you keep getting too much weight on your toes, so you might be pinching your knees. So as you get up in your half seat, really sink down in your heel. It makes your leg longer, and it will help your balance. Because you know I'm going to make it bigger. Good. So this next time we go around, as you get there or a little in front of it, I'm going to have you push your hands up her neck. Okay. So it'll be low on her neck, but forward, so she can use her head and neck even more. The other thing, once you stand up in that half seat, sink down in your heels, steer until you're about 3 feet out, and then push your hands on her neck. Very good. Okay, do it one more time, and then I'm going to make it higher. And look over as she slows down, just cluck. Good job. Yep. And then just go around and do it again. And if I think they're going to jump, I just tell them walk. And sometimes I go at it at an angle because it's harder. But I'm just like walk so they know. Yep. And then sink down in your heel, push on her neck, stare ahead. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Yep. Good girls. But this way it builds her confidence and your confidence. So when you get to a log on the trail, it's not so scary. Doesn't matter. Good girl. To sink down in your heels. And then, you know, once you get her straight, stare, and then lower your hands. Good with your stick. Very good. Yep. And then just try it again. That was great. Today just for practice. Good with your eyes. Sink down into your heel, then push down on her neck. Good. Very good with your heel. So just one more time. I'll get you a nice cheap bucker.
She'll know I'm lying.
All right, sink down into your heels. Yep, and then just cluck. Good job. Good, very good.
Pushing on her neck too early?
No, it was okay.
All right.
I think it's totally fine, whatever's comfortable for you.